Oh, say, can you see?
Thank you very much.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over ramparts we watched.
I'm trying to sing, guys. Please don't make me laugh in your comments. Streaming.
And the rockets red glare, those bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Here we go.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
Oh, yeah. Way. Better be singing on the top of your lungs at home. That star-spangled Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome to the revolution.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. You guys are nuts. You guys are killing me in there. I appreciate you, choosing me over many other things. You could be choosing myself for, and all that stuff. Hey guys, I have a new number. So I'm going to be slow to the call-in part, just based on the chats. And call me and leave a voicemail at this number. And you could say whatever you want. You could ask me a question. You could say something ridiculous, and I'll play it out in my show where we'll go over voicemail comments. But this is my number, my personal cell phone number. No. But this is a number. Feel free to call it. And it'll be popped up all the time. NSA trap. Yeah, it is an NSA trap. Make sure to put your number down. I'm not going to say who you are. I'm not going to share your number, obviously, because that would be freaking ridiculous. But feel free to call this number, 872-22407. And now my camera isn't working. Thank God. Oh man. This is why I don't do live shows anymore. I'm done. I am done. We got to start this over. Let me get this. Okay. All right, we're back. God. Oh, we're back. It is an NSA trap. That's what I'm about here. Anyways, big breaking news, everyone. I know you guys are freaking pumped out of your minds that you're going to want to talk about this. But Madonna is coming out I'm gay? But Donna appears to call herself gay, we think. In a new... Not that I care. I just thought this was hilarious when I first saw this. This is her way of trying to stay relevant, of course. So that's that. But anyways, huge news coming out of the Twitter sphere is that Kanye West is suspended on Twitter now. Not only is he suspended on Instagram, but now suspended on Twitter. And you guys please get in the chat and tell me if you think this is something that you should be suspended for, all right? This is going to apparently an anti-Semitic rant. And I'm not totally sure. It just seems like it's a get back to bed, Granny. This tweet seems more like a precursor to something that could potentially be anti-Semitic, but it just doesn't seem anti-Semitic. Let me move myself out of the way. It doesn't seem like it's like insanely like it just seems like it's like announcing you're going to say something insane, but before you do it, and then they're like, okay, before he even does it, we're just going to get rid of him. He says, Ye wrote, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is, this is my favorite part. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jews. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who opposes your agenda. Please tell me how that's anti-Semitic. It just seems like he's like, I'm going to go DEFCON 3. Like, he's going to say something insane. But then he just didn't say anything. Like, I just don't understand. Like, we're just like preemptively like, this is like that movie, that Tom Cruise movie where you just like, Brendan, what up? I just feel like this is like the Tom Cruise movie where Minority Report, where they're just like assuming you're about to say it. He said DEFCON instead of DEFCON. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's bad. Please help me help me understand why this is bad, because I just genuinely like. I guess DEFCON. Okay. I didn't understand it. I was just like, it just seems like, no, you demand, Brendan. You demand. He didn't call them the bad words. That's true. I just don't think this is cancelable. And plus, there's child porn on Twitter. I mean, no one wants to talk about that, but the fact that that can even be a possibility just shows you that there's a double standard, of course. How much did the Holocaust? How much did I don't know how much did the Holocaust, bro. Just got the gas bill. Okay. God, that is so freaking messed up. God. Oh my God. Okay. The rapper appeared to be referencing the military term DEFCON, which means 5 levels to detonate intensity of national security threat. Okay. A Twitter representative told the Post on Sunday that West's account has been locked due to violation of Twitter policies, even though, the Ayatollah of Iran is still on there. No big deal there. Because, there's no double standard whatsoever, and especially when it comes to anti-Semitism, considering that, Ayatollah's on there who, kills Jews and stuff. I guess that's not a double standard. Go after Kanye, because Kanye is, the worst person alive. He needs to be canceled upon. You said Tom Cruise, but I thought it was Tom Hanks trying to explain why he isn't a Nazi, but also the SS trooper. I'm talking about Tom Cruise in the Minority Report. Where they they arrest you before you commit the crime because the system says that you're likely to do it. Does the Taliban have an active Twitter? I'm sure they do still. Maybe they got rid of it. Let's see. I don't think if I type in Taliban, anything's going to come up anyways. Taliban. So does exactly. Oh. Well, praise God, dude. Islamic Emirate? I don't know. Gas affects everything. Our food comes in gas-powered trucks. So does our clothes and everything. Literally, gas is everything. Food shortage. Dude, I know. Be paying attention. Be seeing what's going on in the world. Don't just use your own eyeballs. But there are so many things going on in the news right now, especially with nuclear warnings right now. and ABC. Also, the Trump rally is happening right now.
The crowd's starting to chant, "We want Trump."
Of course they do.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, we're down here all day. We want him.
Yeah.
We would have. It's okay. Let's see. Mohammed USA troppers Biden left for ICE. Dude. I just watched. You guys ever seen the YouTube guy? There's a guy on YouTube that he travels to Russia and stuff like that, but he also just went to Afghanistan. His name is Bald and Bankrupt. And he traveled to Kabul just recently, and he was documenting like all the U.S. like armored vehicles we left there and how insane it was, but also how crazy that country is right now and how he feared for his life the whole time he was there. That's fear porn. Remember when they were flying around in helicopters we left? Yes, I do. I remember when they were flying around the helicopters and freaking crashed a bunch of helicopters. This is my philosophy when it comes to nuclear war. Either I will survive or it won't be my problem anymore. It's not that I'm worried either way. That's understandable. I think it's kind of hard. How do you prepare? It's like preparing yourself for death. Like, you just kind of have to, you either accept it or you lose your mind and have anxiety about death and let it control your life. And so it's best to stay in a calm posture and accept death as a reality. We're all going to die. I have no idea when you're going to die or when I'm going to die. And so it's best to be prepared for death rather than pretend like it's not a reality. And so whenever we get sick or we get, a life reality check, we're not freaking out because we're accepting. I think thinking about death is a very powerful way to be thankful about your life, even if you feel like your life is really crappy right now, even if you feel like your situation isn't great and you're embarrassed of yourself or your surroundings or your situation, your money or your car, if you're dating, if you're married, whatever. A good way to like reflect on your life is to focus on death. And some people like a lot of Christians will focus on hell for that reason. And it'll help them stay like in a positive mindset that help them stay like, oh, I need to love people. I need to love my neighbor. Bob Dyrdek said that humans suffer from a condition called imminent death syndrome. Yeah. Yeah. Also, thinking about death can also, there's two roads you can take with thinking about death. You can either be freeing and it make you feel like this is every second I have in my life is very precious and every minute in my life is very precious, so I need to use it forcefully, or it could be overwhelming and to the point where you just shut down or fear everything and you just decide I'm going to wear a helmet everywhere I go kind of thing. You know what I mean? Do you guys think about death a lot? Or do you just think or you rather be out of mind, out of sight? I'm always curious. I feel like that's always such an interesting question. I think people that think about death when they get on their deathbed, they're less likely to be like, I regret not doing the things I wanted to do because they were thinking about it when they did it. I lived my life in perpetual fear. It led me to going bald at 23. Dude, I'm sorry, man. Hey, I'm not one of those people that make fun of bald people, all right? It's just like making fun. Why would you make fun of something that a man wishes he could control, and it's usually one of the most insecure things of most men. So, death fears me. I'm pretty sure when I die, Satan will go, oh, fuck, it's my partner's name. No, man, don't be like that. You're a good dude. Don't allow yourself to think like that. We know that's Zima. Zima? Are you talking about Zima? Dude, if I was drinking Zima, I would tell you my address so you could drive down and slap me in the face. Hands down. Just end everything in my life. Zima. It's Richards. Sparkling water. I don't have any beer right now, all right? The more hair you lose, the more that can't be a Charlie Sheen quote. Come on. That guy isn't bald, or else he would have said that. Here's ABC freaking out about our nuclear war and all that stuff. I'm curious what they're gonna say, because John Kirby is on here, and I'm sure he's gonna downplay it. But let's again check on her
country. So as far
Oh my God, cancel him. He's felling pillows. He's got to stop.
White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. Good morning, John. Let's start with President Biden's comments saying we are facing the potential of a nuclear Armageddon. I know the White House has said these are
Seriously, it was from a rom-com he did like 20 years ago with Denise Richards. Oh, really? Okay. Charlie Sheen has some pretty incredible quotes. I mean, what was that drink? What was that drink he was drinking when he was like going through some of his sickest times? Tiger blood. He says he drinks tiger blood or something. I think it was something like that. Derek, we all know you've been stockpiling Zima since 1992. Yeah, I have been, and you're not going to get any, period. I freaking love Zima. Any other beer connoisseur get in my face and tell me that Zima is trash, you're wrong, and you should lose all credibility, period. Zima is one of the greatest beers of all time. Mark my words. Clipped. Do it for the clicks, man. Life is about clicks. Everyone knows that. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. That's all we're all in this game for. Steven Seagal's lightning bolt. Like that just made me think. I want to look up Steven Seagal fake fighting is some of my favorite things to watch in the whole world. Like when he's like psh, 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 psh. Where is like this picture? Dude, eat a carrot, man. When the nukes fall, we're all coming after your Zima. Dude, you're not gonna touch my Zima, period. Let's just be real. I will fight you to death over my Zima. Richards. That's a promise. That ain't no threat. I bet, like, I guarantee you, like, that's the entire reason that Russia invaded Ukraine was to go after Zima. They must have been stockpiling all the Zima because everyone knows vodka with Zima is like premium drinks. Every man dies, but not every man drinks Zima. That should be a thing. That could be a thing. I could drink Zima during every stream. That sounds miserable though. Maybe that'll be my my election stream on election day. Well, if a Democrat wins the state, I have to pound a Zima. Oh God, that'd be like the worst. Anywho. Freaking Steven Seagal. I love that you brought that up. Steven Seagal doesn't get enough. He doesn't give enough attention, enough respect. Zelensky only drinks Zima. That's why he always stupid. How dare you speak of our Lord and Savior Zelensky like that? How dare you? He can do no wrong, even if he calls for a preemptive World War III strike upon the Union. I mean, upon Russia. Start off World War III for us, okay? Zima. All right, I was like trying to watch this, but I'm more excited to talk to you guys. Keep getting into it. Have you ever seen Steven Seagal run? It's the stuff of legend. Oh my God, no. Okay. Steven Seagal running. This better be, this better be good. Oh, stat. Okay. Steven Seagal running funny. Okay.
I still don't believe you, man. If you don't
What is that run? Wasn't Steve Seagal like Kung Fu Theater Reject? Yes. Hey, silly us, I want to be. What's up? I don't know if I've seen you in the chat. How's it going? I mean, come on. I miss old movies. They were just built different. That's close, San Francisco swing. How dare you? How dare you say that about San Francisco?
If you don't see
Oh wait, this is a whole compilation of it? Perfect. Okay, I can't play this song or else I'll get copyright strike. That doesn't... It's too good. He's a judo master too, I know. He's a fraud. Of course he is. Yeah, no, baby. Dude. That one might have been my favorite. Him getting up and running. What? That's too good. Oh my god. A keto master. Is he really? He's like legit. Chuck Norris gave birth to himself. First time here, you were suggested by a friend of mine. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you. On my live show, it's less about being serious and more about just having a good time. It's too crazy out in the world. So my podcast that I do, like I did earlier today on the whole PayPal controversy, I'm more serious in those. But on the live show, it's like, why... no one in their right mind can be completely serious on and have a script for like as long as I do it, and only me behind my freaking keyboard. No, he's not. I'm curious. Keep getting in the chat. Is there any other videos you want me to look up? He tried saying he was. I thought he was legit. Is he not? Is he a complete fraud? Some of my favorite videos to watch are those like fake kung fu ones. Joe Rogan says he is. I'll take his word for it. Joe Rogan. Don't ever question Joe Rogan, or I'll put you in timeout. Granted, he's not the best proof. Anybody seen Richie McGinnis? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, he's fine. I think it was all stunt, whatever the thing he did.
Consistent with comments he has used in the past, but he's never said anything quite as stark as this. So is the president right? Are we facing a potential nuclear Armageddon?
The president was reflecting the very high stakes that they're in play right now, Martha, when you have modern nuclear power and the leader of that modern nuclear power.
Where is Richie? You tell me. I don't know where Richie is, but
are willing to use irresponsible rhetoric the way that Mr. Putin has several times in just the last week or two, as well as the high tensions in Ukraine over just the course.
Look, so Ukraine just said that they blew up the bridge in Crimea. I don't know if you guys saw that, the whole Ukraine thing. I was given the Ron Johnson Medella's Barnes video. Oh, okay, cool. Ukraine took credit for the blowing up the bridge in Crimea, and now Russia is saying that's a terrorist attack, and it's kind of leading them more to actually queue up their nuclear missiles and stuff like that. We live in a crazy time, you know, and during that attack too, you could clearly see there was civilian people driving on the bridge, and people were just like, whatever, I don't care, I guess, whatever. I mean, you're just like, whatever. That's why I freaking hate war, you know, because who gets the shaft in the end? It's the people. It's the poor people, especially. The pool cue in the town. Seagal is looking for Richie. Oh, okay. See, I don't know too much about Steven Seagal. It's not my thing.
For the last few days.
But I feel like I should know everything there is to know about Steven Seagal. You know what I mean? He's like one of those guys. I feel like I'm supposed to be a fan of him, even though I don't watch everything he's ever created. It's funny how a bridge bomb can be seen as a minor inconvenience to people who need to commute to work. Exactly. Exactly.
So the president, I think, was accurately reflecting the fact that the stakes are very high right now.
And he gets a daily intelligence briefing, military updates from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. So are the statements the result of what he has heard or his own conclusions? Because those were really frightening comments.
His comments were not based on new or fresh intelligence or new indications that Mr. Putin has made a decision to use nuclear weapons. And quite frankly, we don't have any indication that he has made that kind of decision, Martha, nor have we seen anything that would give us pause to reconsider our own strategic nuclear posture in our efforts to defend our own national security interests or those of our allies and partners.
This administration is putting all their eggs in the basket that Russia is going to do absolutely nothing, and they're just going to take it like a champ. Like, that's what they're all doing. Hey, Ring Sting, what's up? How's it going? All the way from freaking New Zealand. Celia, I want to be says, I'm waiting for the Celias. Are you a dude or a chick? Put your pronouns in. I'm just kidding. I'm waiting for the Fallout drills to start again, hiding under elementary school desks while looking out a wall windows to bring some tears back to my young God. I know. If they ever make Steven Seagal biopic, it will be called Where's Richie? Putin considers the region he annexed and Crimea as Russian soil. Why he would nuke his own people is beyond me. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither. Hey, Richie, somebody's seen Richie. How about now?
The president was reflecting was that the stakes are high right now, given what's going on the battlefield in Ukraine and given the very irresponsible and reckless comments made by Vladimir Putin in just the last few days. Now, look, he's also said we're not going to be intimidated. Neither we nor our allies are going to be intimidated by this.
100% male. Hey, thank you for butting up percentage. I think it's important in today's culture to know the percentage, you know? It's like, what energy are you bringing tonight, Celias? Are you bringing 100% male energy, or is there any feminine side of you that's really speaking up right now? 50 hyper-inflated bug says that if nukes are used, they will be launched by NATO. Montana, what's up? God, I hope not from NATO. Like, you know, like, but at the same time, it would make sense, right? I mean, who is constantly talking about? I mean, we have been shown pictures of us helping them out with our own military and giving intelligence and with, satellites and communicating and giving infrastructure and giving weapons and all this stuff. And we're essentially doing it. We're just not pulling a trigger. It's like, it's only a matter of time before we also pull a trigger. I'm 50% male, 50% international waters, 100% dude. Wait, the dude? Do you drink Caucasians too? I bet Israel is missing a nuke or two right now. Es posible, eh?
And we're going to continue to provide support and security assistance to Ukraine as is necessary.
You say you haven't seen any evidence that he has made a decision about this, but have you seen anything?
Ring Stings, 100% alien. I freaking knew it, dude. I knew you were. I 100% knew you were. I could feel that alien energy. It's part lamb, part... Are you sure you're not like a character from Lord of the Rings or something? I know you're from New Zealand.
Beyond Putin's rhetoric that leads you to believe he could do this. And if you did...
When hasn't France surrendered? Let's just... Why are we giving so much support to Ukraine? Did we ever get an explanation? Because we have to. No. I know it kind of goes down to the whole agreement we had and the whole reason they got rid of all their arsenal, their whole weaponry and their nuclear arsenal. But I don't... It's kind of one of those things where it's like people are just arguing over little things here and there, and they're just like, okay, we have to defend them for this reason. And usually the only explanation I hear is that, like, if we don't defend Ukraine, that means they're going to go after Poland. They're going to go after our NATO allies. That's that's literally the only explanation I've heard. I mean, we didn't go into Afghanistan and like keep going into like China or anything after that. So why do we get to say those things, but they don't? Like, I don't know. So silly. Yukis have the dirt on Biden's. Bereavement is possible. I don't know. What do you guys think? Why do you guys think?
What is it you would see?
We are monitoring this as best we can. And we have been monitoring his nuclear capabilities, frankly, since he invaded Ukraine again back in February. So,
Marlene Iron Rod Church Mouse. Whoa, that is a new one. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate you being here. That is a freaking name. Iron Rod Church Mouse. I think it was a way to get into the war without being officially at war. I guess, but if you're Russia, how do you there's no way Russia is like looks at United States and our actions or like, oh, whatever. That makes sense. I mean, they're doing no. If you're Russia, you see us doing exactly the same amount as Ukraine. If not, they're just not saying anything about it. I mean, I don't. Ramon, this is the best we can. Translation, we're making the story up as we go. 100%. They have no idea. They are not making the moves first. They are playing defense. They're playing counterattack. They're waiting for Russia to start, so then they have a reason to go. Are you referring to Sumerian history? Aliens matter. We should have a whole alien show on here.
We're monitoring this very, very closely. And what I can tell you is that through all that process, we just simply haven't seen an indication that Mr. Putin has either made a decision to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine or has done anything to get closer to that decision-making process. So we're watching it as best we can, Martha. And again, the best thing I could tell you is that we haven't done anything to change our own strategic nuclear posture. And that's really about as far as we can go. We're watching this very, very closely.
And we also heard the president say the problem he worries about now is that Putin doesn't have a way out of this, can't really save face. That just got more complicated.
Yes. Putin is not going to just take the L in this place. I don't know what people are thinking. He's not just going to let Ukraine win. like it's either you allow him to have some of these regions and potentially have a vote and all this stuff that we can talk about, or he's going to use nuclear weapons eventually. He will play the long game. Why? Because he has an ace in the sleeve. I don't know why these people think that we can just like root on Ukraine to win and that Putin's just going to be like, all right, I'll take the L. No biggie here. No, especially as weak of a president as Joe Biden is. It's time to attack. Elon Musk, we need peace in Ukraine. When Elon Musk said that, and everyone called him pro Putin, just so stupid. Lindsey Graham's the worst. I hate him. So he's just, yeah. I don't know. I feel like if I was a Democrat, it'd be like Nancy Pelosi for me. Like he's like the embarrassing side of you.
With the
How long has Russia been taking L's? Afghanistan wasn't very productive for Russia either. Same with us. United States and Afghanistan both took an L in Afghanistan. Let's just be real. But Putin is also kind of seems like he's on his way out. He's getting old. So I don't know. And then they're like creating a whole coalition of countries together, like Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. See, I have this idea that I think is going to be the Armageddon thing. It's going to be hell on earth. Is like China will attack Taiwan, North Korea will attack South Korea or Japan apparently, and then Russia will do nukes on Ukraine, and then we'll have a nice World War III, and then we'll all be so thankful because you will get to go to war and. The politicians that pushed all this and did things sloppily will get to sit home and just talk about how great of a service you did. Afghanistan is where empires go to die. I know. It's like fighting World War III in Russia in the middle of winter. You don't do it. Like, you just don't go to these places that will always take the dub. They're just like, come on. We can defend. We know everything about this area, and we will sit and wait you out. Queen, what up? How's it going? But hey, no mean tweets, right? Well, thank God. Ukraine has no chance. No, I mean they have a chance, but at the end of the day, they don't have a nuke. So I don't know. None of us know what's going to happen. Everyone thinks they know what's going on. Also, everyone thinks that like their information is the true information, instead of realizing that during wartime, it's at the highest point of propaganda. Whatever source you look at, they're going to say they're being amazing because you want to be moral, like keep your moral up and all that stuff. Fellow extremists.
Explosion on the bridge. Can you tell us what you know about that explosion, and what is the way out
Get
for
him,
Vladimir
Queen.
Putin?
We don't really have anything more to add to the reports about the explosion on the bridge. I just don't have anything to contribute to that this morning. What I can tell you is that Mr. Putin started this war, and Mr. Putin could end it today simply by moving his troops out of the country. He's the one who chose.
Which I also think is like an insane thing, because you constantly hear so many people, especially politicians like Lindsey Graham and Zelensky himself, calling for, the head of Putin, essentially. So this idea that like Putin can just be like, all right, sorry. It seems like people want more than just get out of Ukraine. When Napoleon went to war with Russia, he made it to Moscow with little resistance. Once he set up camp, the Russians burnt Moscow to the ground. That's the type of people they're doing. Dude, Russians don't play, man. Those people do not play. Just like the Dems love suicide bombs. Well, there's that.
To start this conflict again, he can choose to end it, and the president was talking about finding a way to end this war, which we all want to do. We all want to see this war end. It's gone on way too long, and what needs to happen is for the two sides to be able to sit down and negotiate and find a way out of this peacefully and diplomatic.
Yeah, that whole Boris Johnson thing, that is real. This is what happens when you have terrible leaders. They just make stupid decisions. And we're going to like fumble our way into World War III, essentially. It's just like a lot of other wars of just stupid decisions, just fumbling our way in. Just like, and then we're going to be in there and we're going to be up to our knees, up to our chests in water. And we're going to be like, oh, now's the time we need to like buckle down and I don't know, whatever. And especially in a time of high inflation, a time of recession, a time of we're in a bit of an energy crisis coming up and stuff like that, especially with OPEC saying, oh yeah, we'll cut down. And the fact that our administration doesn't want to do anything, just wants to pour more money into green energy. It's just like, it's a culmination of so many things that are happening at the same time. And it can be completely overwhelming if you're not prepared for all this crap coming down the pipe. Silly, it wouldn't be a good Sunday if you... No, dude, you want war? Papa, I don't want war, dude. I don't want war, man. I work out too much, and I know that they'd be like, all right, come on. I know you're like 85 years old, but you got good knees. Russia's doing almost everything they said they would. Ukraine have claimed neutrality, and then Russia would have not acted. It just... The whole NATO thing, I know people didn't take the whole NATO thing seriously. It's like, what's the problem with that? And it's like, this is part of the thing that they agreed on. QB waiting in the snowfall. I share a few rounds of throwaways of freezer space, unexpected horn ammo. We don't talk about guns in our chat. I'm just kidding.
Now, Mr. Putin has shown no indication, none, that he's willing to do that. In fact, quite the contrary, by calling up hundreds of thousands of reservists, by politically annexing, or at least trying to annex, 4 areas of Ukraine, he's shown every indication that he's doubling down, that he wants to continue to prosecute this war, which is why, quite frankly, we're in touch almost daily with the Ukrainians, and we're going to continue to provide them security assistance. You just saw the president approve another more than $600 million just a few days ago of additional HIMARS and howitzers and other ammunition and some vehicles, tactical vehicles. You're going to see us continue to do that going forward.
I want to turn to...
Any archers in the chat? Holler at me if you guys are archers. I'm not an
North Korea. That's someone you haven't been in touch with. Kim Jong-un is not really
There we
answering
go, Kim
calls.
Jong-un.
He's firing off ballistic missiles, including one over Japan. He's done more than 40 missile launches. Let me ask you a simple question here. What is the strategy? I've seen this for decades and decades. The same thing happens through many presidents. You respond, you do drills. He keeps firing ballistic missiles.
muscles.
We want to see the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, verifiable and complete. We want to see that.
There's no chance. No way in hell. There's no way in hell Kim Jong-un would be like, you know what? All right, yeah, we're going to get rid of all our stuff. Okay. There's no way. The only way he can cripple his people and starve his people to death and have labor camps all over the world and stuff like that is through power. He's not going to get rid of everything. North Korea is banging the chest so they can get money and food aid 100%. At least that's a conspiracy. Well, that's what they do. Hey, stop doing tests for a while and we'll give you some money. Okay, thanks. Yes, me without a bow will never happen. Bear recurve. Oh, nice. I like expos better. Nice. I only have one bow. It's been my first bow. I just have a bear. I have an archer. It's a starter. It's a starter thing. Because I never had a dad to teach me how to hunt, so I've been learning by myself like a total loser.
And we have communicated that to the North Koreans. In fact, we've communicated, Martha, that we are willing to sit down with them without preconditions at the negotiating table to work towards that end, without preconditions. Mr. Kim Jong-un has decided not to take us up on that offer, and quite the opposite now. He is trying to improve his ballistic missile program. He's clearly not abandoned.
Oh, crossbows. Okay. I was like, expos. Sorry. See? I told you how big of a noob I am. I have a PSA compound bow with for $40 and 10 years. Oh, wow. Nice. For $40. $40? Dang, dude. I spent I spent a few $100 on mine. It was expensive.
In his nuclear weapons ambitions. And so what we have to do, as we have that offer on the table, is make sure that we have also the capabilities in the region and ready to go in case we need them. We have 5 of 7 treaty commitments. 5 of our 7 treaty alliances are in the Indo-Pacific region. 1 is with Japan. Obviously, 1 is with South Korea. We take those treaty commitments very, very seriously.
But John, let me just say,
national security. So
it doesn't work. It has not worked for decades. So what are you doing differently that you think will work this time?
We have improved our intelligence capability there in and around the peninsula. We have worked hard to improve our military.
Wait, you look like you just took like the massive L on that. Hold on. Wait.
It doesn't work. It has not worked for decades. So what are you doing differently that you think will work this time?
It has not worked. It won't work. What are you going to do differently? God. Can you reuse our bolts or arrows? Yes, I can. I can reuse them. You're going to run out of shells? Probably. You have no intelligence. You're also horrible at gathering intel on your enemies. Hey, I'm doing the best I can, Papa.
We have improved our intelligence capability there in and around the peninsula. We have worked hard to improve our military readiness.
This guy's the worst.
We did exercises this past week with
this guy he's a politician.
The Japanese and with the South Koreans. We're working on better trilateral cooperation between all 3 of our countries. We're going to make sure that we have the capabilities in place to defend our national security interests if it comes to that. But there's no reason for it to come to that. That's the point, Martha. We could sit down, again, without preconditions with Kim Jong-un and try to find a diplomatic path forward. That's what we're committed to.
I know you're talking
all
about
hope for the best. Thanks so much for joining.
If you missed your target, you can kiss that bolt goodbye. Probably. Yes. Yes. Yeah. My plan is when I use my bow is to never miss the target. That's kind of the thing. Let's check in on on a Trump rally?
Thoughts?
Not much thoughts, because my district will not elect a Democrat that supports Joe Biden and his policies. The people in Northwest Georgia could care less about this guy going around.
I was kind of hoping she'd drop like the F-bomb just now. It's something insane. Politician equals propaganda BS 100%. I miss you, you don't eat. Oh, I miss you, don't eat. Exactly. I was like, what? You miss me? All right. And if I run out of ammo, the shotgun becomes an instant baseball bat. Exactly. Exactly. And my bow, because I just have to find sticks. I guess. You know who's like any Kari Lake fans in here? She kind of went off today a little bit. Kari Lake.
Hey, our kids don't have an innocent childhood. Just look at this disturbing curriculum being forced on them at school. Think about it. If any one of us were to talk about sex at work, that would be sexual discrimination. You'd be fired from your job.
It's different. We're not going around smacking people's butts. We're just saying, who do you want to have sex with?
But twice convicted racist Hobbs
so
sponsored legislation to start sex.
I've said on the record that I want Kari Lake to have my back in a bar brawl. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Me too. I want her to be my godmother to my children.
Education in kindergarten. Any adult who feels the need to talk about sex with 5-year-olds should be nowhere near a school and nowhere near the governor's office.
Yeah.
Right?
Right? Come on.
That's
if I was in Arizona, I'd vote for her.
It's not called sex education.
I always said on my show that I will most of the time vote for any candidate that is willing to go on a non-scripted podcast for multiple hours and hold a conversation like a normal human being. You just don't get that in these politicians these days. They're all so afraid to go on like podcasts. They're so afraid to go on shows that they will only go on if you're not allowed to ask these types of questions, and you just have to just you just like they just don't seem like normal people. You know? Like I feel like, you know, people like a Ron DeSantis could go on and have a normal conversation. Like, you see Rand Paul being able to do stuff like that. Like, there are a good amount of candidates that can do that, but there are also so many that have been in politics for so long that you would never see them they would only do a show where there's commercial breaks every 30 seconds. You know, so they can take a break, or they can change up things, or they can like look good for that 10-second soundbite, or they could just say, some stupid comment about AOC, like how silly she is. And they're just like, that's all they get to do. They don't actually have a normal conversation. Let's be honest here. In a zombie situation, I'd be dead. That's you for exposure, not zombie bites. Yeah, crossbows are good for a zombie. Zombie situation, bows are the best. Bow headshots and a zombie. Bow headshots for zombies, I mean, does it get any better? Gorgeous. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me finish this silly clip.
And that's called sexual grooming.
Whoa. That is a weird time to start a clip for myself. Wait, let's go back a little bit. I feel like it'd be easier to find 12 gauge shells over crossbow. Yeah, 100%. But I'm old-fashioned. You're an old-fashioned bae.
Sex education. That's called sexual grooming. Hobbs not only supports that, but she supports dangerous gender mutilation.
A crossbow will penetrate through AR-500 armor. That's crazy. She has Joe Biden's attention now. Yeah, she does.
Surgeries on our children under the guise of gender affirmation. If you don't believe me, it's on her website. I'll tell you what, I think I speak for every single one of us parents when I say, hell no.
Yes.
Hell to the no.
Wait, what? Hell no. Wait. Hell no. To the hell. Wait, that's all I can think about. Hell no. Wait. Here we go. Kari Lake, give it to us raw.
No. Hell to the no, Katie.
Hell to the no.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, 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 no. Hell no, no. To the no, no. Hell to the no, no. To the no, 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 no. Hell to the no, no. To the no, 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 no.
To the no, no.
No, no, no.
To the no, no.
No, no, no.
To the no, no.
No, no, no. To the no, no. To the no, 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 no. Hell.
Oh, that was incredible. I feel like I'm in my own world while you guys are talking about crossbow stuff. Okay, I can see crossbows are better. Hey, indigenous people, fate right. With the knives we have, now have to make whatever we need. That's why it's important to have good knives, you know? So she's talking about her candidate. Majority Taylor Green also had some comments today that I always think Majority Taylor Green always makes me laugh, because anybody that gets under people's skin, it's just...
Well, I'm here to declare we aren't interested in Joe Biden's Armageddon, are we? Hell no, Joe.
Wait.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone saying that?
Well, I'm here to declare we aren't interested in Joe Biden's Armageddon, are we? Hell no, Joe.
Hell to the no. To the no, 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 no. Hell no, no.
God. She sounds like Sarah Palin a little bit. I want MTG to be an honorary aunt as well. I bet she parties. Let's just be honest about that. I've heard that girl gets down. I mean, remember that story we did last week about how she like went to a sex tantrist or something? I don't know. It was like the weirdest story ever. Her sex coach. I don't even know if it's real, but I remember all those pictures we saw of the coach and him in his like his little thong and stuff or something. I don't remember. Our politics are always so fun. But also, Majority Taylor Greene said the worst thing ever.
Joe Biden is a loser.
I feel like I'm doing like a WWE like intro. Joe Biden's a loser.
Joe Biden is a loser.
Have you got hate in your heart? Wait. Fourth of July barbecues are probably off the hook. Yes, I don't trust myself and don't. Yes. Okay. Wait. This is all I could think about when she said that. Not saying that she is a KKK member. Okay. So everyone just freaking relax. This is all I can think about when I hear her say this.
Joe Biden is a loser.
If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
That's all I can freaking think of. If you have hate in your heart, let it out. Joe Biden's a loser. Oh my gosh, she is the freaking gift that keeps on giving. Let's finish this clip. Derek Shea is a KKK supporter. Yeah, right, dude.
I think all of them can't read. They don't care about our Constitution.
None of them can read.
If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Maybe they put it through a paper shredder, but we haven't. Joe Biden is a loser.
I love how like the audience starts to like calm down. Grand Wizard, no. The audience starts to get really quiet and she's just like, Joe Biden's a loser.
Joe Biden is a loser.
Do you think she wrote that down? Just like, Joe Biden is a loser. What the frick, man?
If you have hate in your heart, let it out. If you have hate in your...
Oh, she is so incredible. God, I love people that get like so up in arms and just think like she's actually like Hitler's wife herself in the making. It's like, you need to get rid of her. Shut up. That's me, and calling Joe Biden a loser is an insult to losers everywhere. Oh my God. My native family still gives me crap for my blue eyes. Dude, don't listen to him, man. Those of us with blue eyes, let it rain. I'm a victim of the U.S. public education system. Me too. The fact that I have a 7th grade reading level means I'm a genius. There you go. I'm a victim of public education too. You know? That's why for so long no one knew I had dyslexia. They just thought I was stupid. It's like, oh, so if you just give Derek an audiobook, he can just learn everything? Wow, amazing. Dr. Jill doesn't approve his message. 55 years and counting. Oh, she's so great. Joe Biden's a loser. Wait, one more time.
Joe Biden is a loser.
It never gets old.
If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
You know what the best part is there are people on the right and left that'll be mad if I clip that up and make a video out of it. Just like, how dare you say that? Are you saying Majority Tail Green is a KKK member? I'm like, no. I'm just saying it's funny. Why do we have to, like, people get so like serious about like some of my clips are just like, how dare you say that? Okay, how dare you say that? And I'm like, we're just making jokes here, you know? Not everything is a huge talking point. Not everything has to be so up in arms. We don't have to be so serious. We can say things like Donald Trump was the funniest president I've ever had in my lifetime. And it doesn't mean that like I support everything he does in his whole life. Like there are things there's nuance to life. Like, no, just kidding. The fact that I played that clip of Majority Taylor Greene means that I support everything she stands for and every word that she's ever said in her whole life. And everyone knows that. Cancel myself. I'm going to cancel myself. They call potheads losers because they get high, watch TV, and lack ambition. But unlike Joe, at least they're not bringing on nuclear combat for higher approval ratings. Potheads losers for getting high. I feel like the majority of America does that. We all go to work, and then when we get off work, we sit our butts down and watch TV. like might as well enjoy your time while you're watching TV. Remember when Biden said that he got arrested trying to see Nestle? Yes. Do you remember when Biden said he is Puerto Rican? You remember when Biden said that poor kids are just as smart as white kids? Remember when Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? You remember Corn Pop? I love like reminding people of all those things because so many people have forgotten. Who's offended by who's offended by it, but about who's offended whom? Whoa, shall not be infringement. I don't know, dude. You offended, but I'm not offended without being offended. You know what I mean? Biden was also raised in a way by Puerto Rican in a community politically. Yeah, he was raised like politically minded. What did that even mean? Remember when we reacted to that clip? I have no idea. What does that mean? What? Oh, we're just in like crazy land. But also remember that if
you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Joe Biden's a loser. God. She is the gift that keeps on giving. That woman. Gorgeous. Is he talking?
Recover. You're not going to recover from this. Mark Kelly and the Democrat extremists will flood the country with tens of millions more illegal aliens. They'll.
I just want to hear him say funny stuff. Just say funny stuff. That's all I want to hear. All right, here's Blake Masters, who I think is also going to win in Arizona because Mark Kelly just seems like a total douche and didn't do very well in that debate. Oh, by the way, guys, I am going out of town Tuesday through I think Friday. Yeah, I'm going out of town Tuesday through Friday. I'm sorry. I might have some videos to upload. I might not, but I'm definitely not going live during that time. And I'm sorry. I'm going out of town. I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss every single one of you guys. You guys are my family. And just, of course you are. I'm offended. Get after him. Nobody's allowed to be offended in my podcast ever. Unless you want to be offended. Be offended. But I'm going out of town for a few days, so that's why you won't see my videos or live stream. And if there is a videos, it's going to be, hope you enjoy yourself. Thank you. I hope I do too. I'm just going to see family that I haven't seen in a long time. It always feels weird like leaving because I always like hanging out with you guys. So I appreciate you and keeping the momentum going. I feel like I feel more sad too that I'm going to miss live streaming the Herschel Walker debate because I feel like that debate is going to be a lot of fun. But we have some more debates coming up anyways to live stream, so don't forget that. That's fine. I don't accept your apology. I'm assuming that you're going out of town to assault me personally. I am. I'm going out of town because I need a break from you, Papa. I told my whole family about you and how you just like stress me out and like it's not funny. It's not okay. Having a fallback plan is always good. Yes. But here, I knew it. Here's Blake Masters.
The Democrats are destroying this country. Do you ever get the feeling like they're doing it on purpose?
Yes.
And you got to wrestle with this question, right? Are they incompetent or is it malevolent? And, you know, I think it's some weird combination of both because they're not competent. They are incompetent. Biden doesn't know where he is. And then Kamala Harris, for different reasons, she can't speak either. So they're not competent, but what we are seeing, what we have seen these last 22 months is something so much worse than mere incompetence. They've chosen to inflict damage on our beloved country.
Does that work on you guys? Like, I'm not a big fan of like negatives in campaign speeches. Like if I was a politician, I would just always talk about the positive things I'm going to do to make your life better. I think like when you focus on the negative aspects constantly, like that's okay to have a little bit of it, but not like your whole thing. I just feel like more people get on board for adding like positive things. You just wrote poop. Do you guys do better when it's more negative or I mean, I feel like 90% of podcasts is all about like losing your mind anyways, but okay. Willie Brand caused Kamala's brain damage one shot at a time. How dare you? How dare you? I wish the America First movement actually talked about how they could make America great. Yes, I know, me too. That's what I'm saying. It's like I wish that like we could just only talk about how they're going to make our lives better, how they're going to make your and my lives better constantly. It's always like just like a lot of like podcasts out there. It's like what the left is doing the whole time during the podcast, and like it's hard for me to like it's even hard for me to break from that. It gets boring. It's like Why do we always have to talk about what they're doing? I want to talk about like what the other side is doing. Like, can't we do that too? Because apparently they do nothing to talk about. All they do is bitch about the left. Like, if you're a leader, that shouldn't be your platform. Your platform shouldn't be talking about how bad the left is. I just think it gets boring. Magnetic. Sure, calling Biden a loser is good and fun, but the constant insults is just giving clips to the propaganda machine to use. Yes, and they're making it seem like, you know, they're children. But at the same time, the left is way more childish, and they say way more insane stuff, but they don't get the coverage on their insanity. Like when Joe Biden said poor kids are just as smart as white kids, like that just went away, you know? Or like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Like those things just go away. Like the left, the liberals are allowed to be childish and say silly things, but if anytime the right does it, they're seen as like insane or conspiracy theorists or like homophobic and stuff like that. But that being said, here's Kamala Harris coming out today and saying, what?
And speaking of the system of justice, we are also changing, y'all might have heard that this week, the federal government's approach to marijuana. Because the bottom line there is nobody should have to go to jail for smoking weed.
And she believes that. She believes that with all her might. She's always believed that. And don't let anybody tell you differently. Wait, what?
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. Senator Harris.
It's the worst when you have receipts, isn't it? Is she drunk? She looks drunk. Yes. Death. Is Kamala going to get? Is Kamala going to get the people out? She locked exactly. I think so now. You know, but should weed smokers be allowed to buy a gun? Yes. Same reason why I think people that drink alcohol should be allowed to buy a gun. I mean, if you're abusing it, I mean, that's up to you. I'm way more lax about that. Form 4473 begs to differ. Yes. And I think that's a stupid form. But people lie on that form all the time. They're legalizing weed to try to save their asses. That's why when people are like losing their mind about Hunter Biden lying about his forms, like, you know how many people lie when they go to the military saying they never smoke weed in their life? All of them. They're like, your recruiter will tell you, you know, even if you smoked weed once, don't say anything. Just lie. Marijuana has been weaponized in America, and it's kind of frightening. Yes. And people lose their minds about marijuana, but I look at marijuana like alcohol in many ways. It's like there's certain amounts that are like okay, and then there's sometimes like if you consume a whole bottle of liquor, you're going to be totally messed up, just like smoking too much. It's the same thing. I don't know why people think that like if you hit off a joint, you're going to be on your butt in a psychosis mode, not knowing what reality is. It's not the truth. But there is a lot amount that will mess you up, you know? Legalizing weed to try to save their ass. Yeah, I know. Well, they're not legalizing. They're just like getting criminals that were locked up over it, which I don't think should be a thing. But that they're just pandering. It's a whole pandering thing. That's all it is. Marijuana has been weaponized in America. Yeah, out of the guns. I got my first firearm at age 6. Dang. Not me. My dad's. I have one liberal dad, and he is like very no guns. But he gets weirded out when he sees my guns, which I think is hilarious. And then I have dad on the. I have my stepdad is like, he's he's down with guns. I just don't. He's not like trained that well, so they make him kind of nervous. Now, so I didn't grow up with like guns. I think I was the first in my family to own a purchase one. If you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. I don't exactly. Like, why do I need to police what you do by yourself? If you're smoking weed and going out for drives and getting in accidents and killing people, I have a problem with that. But if you're at home and you're doing your own thing and it doesn't affect me whatsoever, it only affects you, that's up to you. If you want to like do things, if you want to make your life better, if you want to ruin your life, if you want to just be an average Joe, like, you have the choice to do whatever you want. Guns are part of America 100%, but the fact that it's a political weapon to keep the masses subdued is kind of scary. Yes, it's a political weapon on both sides. Both sides have like and the left pretends like they're all about marijuana, but they're not. Because they have all the power, and yet they don't legalize it. They wouldn't do it. So they pretend like they're all about marijuana, but they're not. And the right is like starting to get on the train of like medical is okay, but it's so easy to get a medical card. But then you run into things with like guns. It's the same thing with like red flag laws. I freaking hate that crap. You're just making people that have problems not go see a therapist. Not actually get help, because then they'd rather be able to protect themselves. If you don't like guns, then get the fuck out. Yeah, exactly. There aren't any federal criminals who are locked up for weed possession. No, that's a state and federal, local issue, 100%. This whole like legalizing, letting the drug offenses go is silly anyways, because a lot of them were having trafficking offense that were brought down, but I don't care about trafficking anyways. It's not a position I care. I care more about murderers and rapists than I do about somebody selling weed. Like, I'm sorry. There are bigger things that our police should be worried about, but they are consumed with so many other things. But I draw the line with fentanyl. There's nothing good about fentanyl. But at the same time, like, I don't know. This is an issue that I'm still working out personally. I'm not like hard line. I think if you meet anyone that's like hard line about this, I wouldn't trust them. Period. I don't trust like any podcaster that will just say like I know everything about drugs. Like, you're just like, shut up. No, you don't. No, you don't, dude. They're trying to get. The irony is that Biden's third strike rule probably put the yes. My parents were no motorcycles. That didn't work very well either. We're not motorcycles. So we don't pay attention to them and their high crimes. No. Give up the bikes, dude. Too sketchy. Give Brandon. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up. From Brendan, are you telling me to worry about someone else's feelings? You care about your family. It's difficult to have a steadfast stance on anything these days. Everything on issues is somewhat complicated. Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, that's why my podcast is more of like a politically homeless podcast. Like, I just feel like we're constantly lied to on both sides of the aisle about things, and people will say all kinds of things in order to be accepted, and with. For you to vote for them, and then they get in the office, they do completely the opposite thing. Or whenever election season comes on, they pretend like they're more conservative, more libertarian, or more progressive, or whatever. They pretend they push all these things, but when they're in their office, they do absolutely nothing. I mean, like, and plus, why be so like steadfast on a stance when we're constantly learning things? I have like issues that I feel strongly about, but I'm always like, if I'm wrong, please tell me how I'm wrong. Because if you're not constantly open to critique, if you're not constantly open to being pushed to define what you believe or refine what you believe or challenging yourself constantly, then you're pretty weak and your foundation sucks. And when you meet somebody that has a good argument, you're going to get completely ruined, and then you're going to have your whole world altered. And that's why a lot of people, I feel like, go through so many tough things, is because their foundation is so weak. Then you just answer your own questions, homie. What? My mom asked me if I was MAGA because I think the former vice president was a scumbag. Really? That's so weird. I feel like I was being asked if I was a Jew back in 1940. I feel like I was... Papa, that is freaking heavy, dude. I could completely understand that feeling too, regarding like, especially in the height of like the pandemic, when people were talking about like, are you vaccinated or not? This is just the way people were talking about people was a slippery slope. Whoa. Not a good path to go down. Brendan, you told me to give up the bikes, not my family. Bikes weren't allowed on the private feelings. It's just, I'm so confused what's going on between you guys. But let's check on for some soundbite clips, which is always important.
Do you know about that? They say he left the White House with recordings in his sock, and they found them in his sock drawer. And they didn't find them. He found them, I guess. I don't know. Somebody found them, but they were in the sock drawer. And the National Archives, which is the NARITE school,
healthy banter. Okay, good.
Lost an entire heart.
That's why I was so confused. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Speaking of what you're talking about, Stacey Abrams, who is somehow, how is Stacey Abrams the most celebrated person on the left? Doesn't make no sense because she might be one of the most silly politicians out there. Here's her this morning on Fox News FUNDAY.
I want to ask you, especially before you go, about abortion. You've made headlines on...
Oh, I'm saying motorcycles are sketchy. Dude, I want a motorcycle so bad. But my family all works in the hospital system. And they're like, if you get a motorcycle, you are no longer in my will.
I want to ask you, especially before you go, about abortion. You've made headlines on that topic lately. You're not the only one. Kanye West, or Ye, talking to our Tucker Carlson this week, had this to say.
I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City.
The most recently available data from New York City's Department of Health seems to support what he's saying there. But more broadly, according to the CDC, about 38% of abortions were obtained in the U.S. by black women. The U.S. Census Bureau, though, says that just 13.6% of our population is black. Do you share Ye's concern that black Americans are disproportionately impacted, he says, by abortion?
I share the concern of women across the state of Georgia that they are being denied access to medical care. That in the state of Georgia, black women are most likely to die of maternal mortality issues because they're denied access to health care under this governor before they...
Black people are denied access to health care.
Get pregnant. They are denied access to medical care during their pregnancy because of the medical shortage that we have in the state of Georgia, fomented by this governor. That when they have this child, if they choose to carry a child to term, if they're even allowed the choice of what they want to do, that postpartum, they are denied access to health care afterwards. We know that in Brian Kemp's Georgia, a black woman faces a lethal choice, and that is to either have a crystal ball and know she's pregnant before she can actually know, or face forced pregnancy with very little support. In the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp has said that Herschel Walker is entitled to his personal choices, but no woman is. And that is unconscionable. And for black women in particular, but women writ large, the right to control our bodies, the right to our medical care should be sacrosanct. And unfortunately, unless I replace Brian Kemp, there will be a desert of access for black women across the South. Georgia will be the only state, if I become governor, we will be the only state from Texas to South Carolina where women can have access to care. That's 56% of the black population of the United States centered in the South and denied access to life-saving medical care. And so I'm going to fight as hard as I can to protect the right to abortion, because that's how we protect the rights of women, and that's how we protect the rights of Georgians.
Dude, what? God, she's so delusional. You're right, Queen. She's so delusional. What the frick, dude? That was the right to medical care should be sacrosanct. Hey, who's denying and also like blaming somebody for not a strong workforce population, blaming the governor because they don't have enough nurses in some areas? Do you think that has to do with the governor, or do you think that's because no one wants to work in those areas? You can't force people to have a job. Yes, you can. You make them submit, and you make them deal with it. But here's where I feel like the interview gets interesting, because I've been at the, like, I'm constantly, our doctor's going, you're black, so therefore I won't treat. Yeah, exactly. They're just like, oh, you're black. Okay, go to the other side of the hall. We'll see you when we can. It's like, what the? This is not happening. This is not happening. And I don't become governor. It's because the election was stolen. Yeah, she talks about that all the time. She's allowed to talk about the stolen election, but if you talk about it because you're a white male, you're probably one of those freaking MAGA people. I'm gonna turn you into the FBI. Period. Blame the Rona and vax layoffs. Black of the nurses. Well, there's one of those things. Okay. Blacks can't do anything. Yes. All right. This is where the conversation gets interesting, because I've constantly been talking about how abortion, how the left needs to define where's the line where it comes to abortion. Is it all the way to birth? Is it 14 weeks? Is it 15 weeks? Is it 2 months? What are we talking about? Where's the line? Is there a line? Because I think that's an important question. But that question will never be asked in debates, which is depressing and sad. I wish some of these debates were fair. You and I have been watching debates together for the last few times, and the debate questions are just like straight out of MSNBC playbook. But here is Stacey Abrams being forced to answer that question.
Free to become.
Democratic platform is based on the idea that black people can't do anything without the help of whites. If only a word would describe that kind of mentality. Yes, I know. That is like... That statement alone, Baba, is like the entire reason Candace Owens is a thing right there.
Free to become governor, where would you draw the line? 15 weeks, viability, 36 weeks? What's the limit?
What I've always said is that abortion is a medical decision that should be made by a doctor and the woman, and that the point of viability as determined by a doctor should always take into consideration the life and health of a woman. That should be the standard. But the arbitrary standards of timelines ignore the medical reality that it is a fallacy. We know exactly when a pregnancy starts, that we know exactly where we are in the system, in the term. And what doctors will tell you is that they need to make decisions based on the woman they are treating. And what women will tell you is that they need the right to make medical decisions that can save their lives and save their ability to control their bodies and their futures.
Free to become governor, where would...
Don't you love how they don't answer the question? It's like, would you please answer the question? No thanks. Not going to do it. No way, dude. Never in hell would I ever answer that question for you. Hold on. Hold up. A doctor shouldn't have to make a choice in abortion. I don't know what she's talking about. I think they constantly talk about how like it is like they make the choice sound like it's like some doctor running around like telling people to get an abortion. What are you talking about, dude? That only happens when the life is in danger and stuff like that. And I don't think any there's no like a logical thinking person out there that is pro-life that if the mother's life is in jeopardy during the pregnancy, that is a discussion to be had. This isn't, I don't have like a line where it's like, no, the woman must die. Like who are these like evil characters that they create in their heads to make people on the right seem like insane people? There are 20 different types of birth control. No excuses. Well, there's that too. Not only birth control, there's condoms. I know that condoms make it not as much fun, but having a kid is very stressful. So if the doctor decides that the baby should be aborted and the mother says no, the doctor will force her to. I feel like that's what they want. They want that kind of power. I feel like there was an instance of that. Where I think it might have been in like a place like England or Canada, somewhere with like governmental health care where they force it, where you don't have a choice. You just have to do it, which is crazy. Pinko China, it certainly seems like it. Like, I know we like make a lot of jokes on my show about what's going on in the world, but our world is crazy right now.
That we are in for period of time because we have people that truly either they hate our country, they are competent. Look, they are competent. We can't say they're dummies, but they are sick. You know, Shifty Schiff, Shifty Adam Schiff, Shifty Adam Schiff. I mean, I tell this.
Shifty Adam Schiff. You know what's the best birth control? Being average, being in an average world in a modern woman's society. Yeah. Is there any other person that they get clips from than Donald Trump? The best birth control is being.
Big job done by the Democrats and Hillary, right? DNC in conjunction.
The DNC in conjunction. All right. Hell no. To the no. Okay. And then here's Kari Lake also. She went on Faith the Nation this morning and gave her stance on abortion. Because apparently this is the only thing anyone cares about these days. This is the entire platform. This is what the media wants every single Republican candidate to talk about. They only want them to ask them about abortion. It's like, where's your stance on abortion? Have you heard about abortion? Have you seen abortion lately? You should probably be about abortion. What is your stance on abortion? Are you for women's rights? Huh? Are you from taking the rights away from women? Let's be honest, Trump is a pretty solid president, but his voice sucks. How dare you? How dare you say that? Papa Bear?
Jail. And you know it's a hoax.
You know it's a
fake.
hoax.
Uncle Sam, do you agree with that?
Do you agree
now
with
think
that?
of it.
Come on. Think of
you
this
know
guy.
it's a hoax. And he's saying that my son is going to jail on something. These are bad people. These are sick degenerates.
These are bad hombres. I was more mad at Trump when A, he didn't build a wall. He didn't finish the wall at the beginning. And then B, he didn't actually drain the swamp. I think he was overpowered. And C, putting your family in charge. I hate nepotism with a freaking passion. I don't care if you don't trust anyone. That just tells me you need to find somebody else. And he constantly fired people that helped him get elected, which made no sense. Like Steve Bannon and there were other people. There were just so many things. This idea that he was perfect is silly. But he did a lot of good. I'm not saying he was, he did a lot of good that I enjoyed and liked. And I like that he finally started calling out the establishment, which he didn't see a lot of, you haven't seen any Republican president doing such things, period. But anyways, here we go. Baby killers. Yes, I know. Modern women are evil and killing. I wouldn't put all women in a lump. Don't stay away from generalities, man. Okay, here we go.
I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I'm all for women's health care. I come from a large family, 7 sisters I have. Of course I want women's health care. This has moved beyond health care. We're not giving women choices. I'm for giving women true choices. And when they walk into an abortion center, they're only given one choice. And they're not told that you have the choice to keep your baby and we can help and here's how. Or we can help you find a loving family who will adopt your baby. I want to give women true choices. I will uphold the law, whatever that law is. And I want to see to it that we save more lives. Right now, the Democrats have started pushing so far from that rare but safe to anything goes up to 9 months of pregnancy, after birth. Katie Hobbs, my opponent, actually is voted for, and you look at her voting record, allowing a baby who survives an abortion, that the hospital would refuse medical care and allow the baby to die on a cold metal tray.
See, at least she is honest and talks about what's going on. Let's check on Papa Bear. Papa's favorite voice.
To just do his job, and every day, every week, every month he gets hit with a subpoena from Schiff and from Nancy Pelosi, who's crooked as hell. Look at her stocks. I mean, she did better than Warren Buffett.
I feel like right now Trump is just going around to the country and seeing what works for his run in president. He's just saying words or saying sayings and seeing what gives the biggest clap of the day, and he's like, all right, we're gonna use that. I just don't understand the point of him doing rallies right now. Is this his way of getting money? I don't understand
You're not
Why?
even gonna believe
How
it.
would you say your mental focus is?
It's focused. I haven't. Look,
Let's get ready to bombard!
A guy that follows me and I follow him made this meme. You got to follow CP3.
Suffered the pressure.
God, oh my Lord, I can't believe I said that. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Y'all ready for this?
I was going to put him.
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
I feel like I'm gonna get hit for that song. The modern woman is a majority feminist. Dude, the modern feminist isn't what it used to be. Also, I don't know if you guys caught this today, but just be thankful for the job you have, because this could be your job. That could be your job. You could be a physio and do inappropriate stuff on the sideline. Just think about that. Trump needs a following to feed his... Well, there's that. And I like Trump. Yeah. How dare you say the obvious? Yeah. Yeah, I like... What is the point? I mean, I know it's election season. I mean, he should be going around to... places and helping candidates out instead of holding his own rallies is what I would assume he would have done. That's what I would have done. I wonder when Pope will invite Biden back. Oh, dear God. Never. That's sad. Just be glad you don't have that job, okay, guys? But here's the woman that is facing Kari Lake. She is like the most cringe person ever.
In Phoenix this morning. Secretary Hobbs, good morning. Welcome to Face the Nation. So your opponent said you don't want to debate. I'd like to ask you, are there any conditions under which you would agree to debate Kari Lake so the voters of Arizona could hear from the two of you side by side and in real time?
Look, what I've been focused on is opportunities like this where they can see us back to back and hear directly from us about the issues that are important to Arizonans and how we would govern without...
I don't want to debate her because I would sound like this in debate, and Kari Lake is a...
Sounds more like this. God.
I don't think I want to debate her right now because I don't think I want to debate. It's just like, what's going on? And then it's like, why do I do these things? And like, I was just like, what is going on? And then it's like, why? And then it's like,
these like this where they can see us back to back and hear directly from us about the issues that are important to Arizonans and how we would govern without a circus like she created during the GOP Republican primary.
Oh God, how do you listen to that voice? Dang, dude. How did she get? How do you vote for somebody that like? I can't listen to your voice. Like it's making me angry. It's just like she would cry after a drive-by water ballooning. I'm gonna say it. She looks like Lisa Loeb fan girl. I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm scared to look that up.
I
I
have
know
no
that.
desire to be a part of the spectacle that she's looking to create.
She strikes me as the type of
doesn't
woman.
do any service.
It strikes me as the type of woman that would wait 4 hours again, front row seats to the Indigo Girls concert.
To the voters of Arizona to hear from us where we stand on the issues and how we would govern.
So sometimes voters learn things from moments of duress or challenge or circus. Don't you think you're strong enough to handle any kind of circus Kari Lake might present, if in fact she were to present one? Don't the voters of Arizona deserve to see that real?
I think the voters of Arizona have had a chance to see how I work under crisis throughout my leadership during the 2020 election as Secretary of State, when we had to combat multiple election challenges from former President Trump and his band of election deniers, including my opponent, Kari Lake.
So I want
to... She feels like that's such a slam dunk statement. Slam dunk.
I ask you about immigration. We had a long conversation with Kari Lake about that. Last night...
I can take one look at her and know that she resents her husband. Oh my God. She needs to meet Willie Brown. She's the helper voice. She needs to meet this man.
To the no, no. Yeah, to the no, no. To the no, no, no.
You tweeted, Arizona bears the brunt of the failures of U.S. immigration policies. Now, by our count, that is your second tweet in a month about immigration. Who specifically is responsible for this failure, and why only now did you decide to share that sentiment with your Twitter followers?
Oh, this is certainly not the first time that I've spoken out about immigration in this campaign. We are a border state, and immigration...
Papa, you just dated yourself. Hey, and I know who the Indigo Girls were, so does that date me too?
is a very important issue to Arizona voters. And as a border state, we have borne the brunt...
Or maybe the Lisa Loeb comment. I feel like I need to look that up. Lisa... I feel like I know who that is. Okay. Yeah, you did date yourself. Not really. She's a 2018 Grammy Award winner. Hello. Papa Ring. She's not that old. She's beautiful. Legally Blonde. Yes, queen. Easily some of the best works ever. Let's go back to the realness.
Of decades of inaction in Washington from both parties to address both border security and comprehensive immigration reform. And we need the federal government to step up. But what I want to be really clear about is that my opponent's positions on this issue are nothing but empty rhetoric. She's not offering real solutions. When she talked about invoking the constitutional authority of the state, she's talking about declaring an invasion at our southern border. That would do absolutely nothing to increase border security, but it would bring untold levels of chaos into our state. It's not a...
How is what? Don't you love when people just like say these things and you're just like, and like if I was interviewing her, when I interview people, I'm not like Piers Morgan where I'm just like constantly interrupting and trying to challenge them and make them come on my side and think rightly or whatever. But I would stop her. I'd be like, okay, that's interesting. How is that going to bring chaos? Because I don't understand. It seems like there's chaos now. But I digress.
Real solution. I have a border security plan that's been endorsed by 2 border sheriffs. Because
to be fair, I was in grade school when Reality Bites was in theaters. Okay, me too.
Because they know that it's going to focus real solutions.
I feel like we're the same age.
And bring meaningful relief and help them make their communities safer.
As a practical matter, were Arizonans safer under immigration policies of the present administration or the one just before it?
Look, we've had...
Whoa, Papa. Back when Ben Stiller was talented? Are you kidding me? No way. When has he not been talented? I know he's like nuts politically, but I'm gonna freaking... Zoolander 2001, Tropic Thunder 2008, Zoolander 2 was crap. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty I enjoyed. Come on, man. Okay, you're right. It's been a long time. Package, Slavery. I don't like any of these films. Burning Love, didn't like that. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't been good for a while, but okay, late 2000s, he was good. Megamind, decent film. 30 Minutes or Less, pretty decent. Produced it, whatever. He wasn't in it. But Tropic Thunder might have been his last best one. Early 2000s, he was killing it. Zoolander, Duplex is okay. Starsene's Hutch is kind of funny. Blades of Glory, great. Oh, he produced that? Yeah, Tropic Thunder was his last hurrah. Tropic Thunder, man, that movie is so good. It's not even like a fantastic movie. It's just like there's gonna be a Dodgeball 2. Of course there is. You can't just make new stuff anymore. We got to rehash everything, and then replace the white actors with more diverse cast. That's what we do now. Stiller as compost, I'd vote for that. Blame it on the liquor, probably. The Ben Stiller show was way better than half of the crap. He's 100%. Ben Stiller show is such a good show. Anybody watch SNL last night? I watched it, and I think I laughed 2 times, which is more than I've laughed in years. So it's still crap. I can't help myself. I have to keep watching it. I hate it. It's like self-abuse. I'm like, one day you guys are going to be good again. I know it. I just know it. Please, God, no dodgeball was lightning in a ball. Yes. All right.
No, we're going to go back to her.
Pretty bad immigration policy for decades. We need to get comprehensive immigration.
Well, SNL was that good last night. Yes, there was like two sketches. Hold on. There was like 2 sketches. There was a sketch that was making fun of the Try Guys and CNN, and then there was like another sketch that was making fun of like a new cast member who's kind of like a bigger girl, and she kind of gave me like a Chris Farley vibe, the way she was talking about how she was put on the show to kill Vladimir Putin. It's pretty funny. I laughed. Okay, it was real. It was a genuine laugh. After that, it was all trash though. It was all stupid. So. I haven't watched SNL since the early 80s. Are you kidding me, dude? What about the 90s? Will Ferrell? Come on. Will Ferrell was so good. I mean, Adam Sandler was good. Jimmy Fallon was sometimes good. Most of the time sucked. SNL used to be considered edgy back in the day. Now it's well, SNL just is political and internet humor now. And they just struggle to come up with original content, just like most of our movies now. It's just like rehashing everything that's going on online. Trump had comprehensive immigration policy with stay in Mexico. Whoa. Let's check on him right now.
Second time than I did the first, getting millions more votes in 220.
I'll vote for Will and Jimmy as compost.
We got many more. We got many more votes in the last election. Many.
I feel like he's going to make me get rid of my channel. They're just like, we've got so many votes because of the beep. Derek O'Shea's gone. All right, let's finish this stupid
reform done, and it's both parties.
I'm sorry, Derek. Jimmy Fallon was never funny. The TV lied to you. What? There's a couple Jimmy Fallon skits that are funny. Jimmy Fallon in the hot tub with Will Ferrell. I mean, he wasn't like the spectacle of it, and he was funny in that. Whenever Jimmy Fallon would play the guitar and make fun of Adam Sandler, that was kind of funny. Some of his Weekend Update stuff was good. He's in a skit where he plays like I don't know. Now I'm blanking. Haven't watched TV since 2009. Good for you. Are you just shall not be infringed on Montana? Are you just like pop on different streams or something like that? Because that's what I would do now. Like I don't. Besides sports, I don't really watch TV. It's just I don't know. It doesn't feel like as real as like the internet to me nowadays.
He's in Congress
because you're watching me live, and I'm not gonna have like a commercial break in 2 seconds that you're gonna have to flip from or something. You're thinking way too hard to prove Jimmy Fallon was funny. Okay, now you're right. All right, Jimmy. I'm going to look this up. Jimmy Fallon funny skits on SNL. I feel like there were some. I want to give credit where credit is due. Okay, this skit is not with him, about him, but that was a funny skit, but he had nothing to do with it. Every skit my D in a Box. That was a pretty funny song. Dick in a box. Celebrity Jeopardy. Okay, maybe that's the only one. Okay, maybe you're right. Jimmy had his okay, thank you. There was like a couple. Okay, when he did this one, anytime he did stuff with Justin Timberlake was kind of funny. When they just did that was kind of funny. But you're right, there's not a lot. Jimmy Fallon in blackface. Oh my God, it's okay when he does it though. this, but it had nothing to do with Jimmy Fallon. Of course, he just felt awkward. He was smiled and broke character the whole time. Gotta hand it to you, Derek. I respect that you're willing to die on this hill. You're welcome. Hey, man. Okay, yeah, he was in this skit, but it was Will Ferrell that was funny. The funniest. Every skit he's ever been in, he's not the main guy that's funny. I will give that to you. He's always like a side piece. he's never the final. Okay, this was a good skit. That was a good skit. All right, that one was funny. The two Boston got, and then they would make out and they'd be like, "Screw you, you are," and then they would just like start making out with each other. They'd be like, "No more pot," and they would talk about baseball. The Bee Gees would just exactly. Come on. Give me some Red Fox, Carol O'Connor, and some Blazing Saddles. Oh, heck yeah. Papa, right? This one was funny. Please say yes. If you don't, I'm gonna freaking, it's over between us. I feel like that skit was funny, but you're right. There's not a lot. I'm really scratching for the barrel. This one was funny, but this one he hosted it. And he played like a basketball, and they were like two guys that were like the background, and they said they could play basketball well, but they sucked at basketball, and they kept breaking it every 5 seconds. So I guess that's all. That's all I can think of. A funny skit with Rachel Dredge. What kind of backwards hell is that? Hey, she's funny. She was funny when she did her most famous skit. Of this one, this, where she would say something really depressing, just like, and guess what, guys, I can't get pregnant. Okay, this show is freaking off the rails.
Congress have been dragging their feet to get this done.
Just dragging
But when you say there is a failure of current immigration policy, that's a Biden administration failure, is it not, by definition?
Look, Trump centered his whole immigration policy around finishing the wall, and it's not done. And but Biden does need to step up.
Oh, we got some Rumble chatters. Jimmy Fallon was and is super gay. Is this supposed to be funny? I just came back to tell you need to work harder. Oh, awesome. We got like a little Rumble troll. I just came back to tell you need to work harder on not being funny. Thank you. God. You got to give it up to people, man. I love the fact that people will come on a stream and then type something instead of just clicking off. You're just like the liberals. You're just like the liberals. You like to bitch about stuff and you don't ever you can just turn it off. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. This stream sucks. Biden stopped the wall day one. Yes. Biden stopped at the wall day one and didn't finish it. And there's we paid off a bunch of people to stop working because they had a freaking contract. So far this episode, we've gone from Madonna being gay, yes, to nuclear war, yes, to Steven Seagal, to Trump, to Ben Stiller, back to Trump, to Lisa Loeb, to Jimmy Fallon. Best episode ever. Thank you, Papa. Yeah, we've been all over the place. Let's just be real. But according to J Wink 80, Jimmy Fallon is gay and I'm also stupid. I don't care. Anywho. I'm going to go home and freaking cry now.
Immigration and border security, absolutely. Arizona is bearing the
Papa, don't forget dating yourself. And learning how to date yourself.
Illegal drug trafficking.
To be fair, only one of those statements is true.
And trafficking and smuggling. And we do need more border security. It's not going to get done by declaring an invasion at the border or
Maybe I'll call this. I'll just make this thing called like the not funny news show. That's what it would be called from now on. The not funny news show. Because I don't know what else to call it. like we talk about stuff that's going on in the world, but we also talk about other things, and we also laugh and we mock everything that's going on because it's better to laugh than lose our minds and get all enraged and have like an anxiety attack and lose just the world is like let's just not be that way. Let's not be that podcast. It's better
dismantling the FBI,
even
which
killed.
is another thing that my opponent has called for.
Ooh, dismantling the FBI. I agree.
Or dismantling the FBI, which is another thing that my opponent has called for.
Kari Lake W.
On the question of abortion, your opponent described you as something
Diet funny, funny light.
of an extremist. Those are her words, not.
Yeah. I'm not actually trying to be funny. Like, I'm just trying to laugh. That's all. So I don't know what else to call it. This isn't a joke. I'm not like the Gutfeld show. You know, I'm not like Gutfeld show. No one's writing my jokes for me. It's all off the cuff and it's completely live. No one's writing stuff for me, and it's not the Daily Show. There's like 30 writers that are writing jokes, and then they get to try whatever, and then they like get to be the ones that claim credit for it. We're living our life. This is the show that I create all those stupid shorts from. That is causing me to grow for some reason. Anywho, back to them.
On ours, do you support the current 15-week ban in Arizona, or would you seek a different approach? And is there a week limit different than 15 weeks you are in favor of? And if so, why?
I don't support the 15-week ban, but let me just say that Kari Lake is entirely misconstruing my position on this issue. You and I both know that late-term abortion is extremely rare, and if it's being talked about, it's because something has gone incredibly wrong in a pregnancy.
I love it. I love that. Like, that's the rhetoric right now. It's like late-term abortion is what happens when it's like incredibly rare, but at the same time, these people are the ones that are advocating you to be able to do that. I know they have like some like fantasy because they don't want to actually say the actual truth, because then the truth will be that they support abortion all the way up till birth. And they don't want to actually say that out loud, because if they say that, then it sounds insane, because it is insane. So instead she says like, oh, it'll occasionally, this is just like only when like the mother's life is in jeopardy or something like that, or like the doctors were saying that. You have to make a line. If you want to put that in the bill, 14 weeks abortion, and then if it's late term, it can only be at if the mother's life is in jeopardy. That can be the only reason. And she would never agree to that. See, I would just like hold her to like that standard and actually talk about that. She's so stiff. She's portraying a compassionate person. yeah. That's why she wears glasses. Like, don't you love how people just assume people with glasses are liberals? It's like the liberal look. It's just me, or does Kate Hobbs look like a lizard woman? She looks like she's about 60 years old, but talks like she's about 13. So Virginia has that. Yes, Virginia has that. Like, did Youngkin not get rid of that? Wait, is Youngkin's in Maryland, right? Or Virginia? Like, I'm not. Youngkin. Yeah, he's Virginia. Did he get rid of that? It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on in the world. Papa, that's harsh. Got a text message from me later tonight and said that they appreciated the dinner, but they'd rather just be friends.
Doctor's not going to perform an abortion late in a pregnancy just because somebody decided they want one. That is.
What an insane statement, because of course that's true.
Not going to perform an abortion late in a pregnancy just because somebody decided they want one. That is ridiculous, and she's saying this to distract from her incredibly extreme position, which she's gone on the record saying she supports Arizona's complete abortion ban that is in the courts right now being decided if that will be the law of Arizona or not. She's called it a great law. She's called people who seek abortion murderers and executioners. And under a Kari Lake administration, we would have government mandated forced births that risk women's lives. And her position is the one that's extreme. It's out of touch with where the majority of Arizonans are who support access to safe and legal abortion. And under her.
You can hear the other guy that's like conducting the interview. You can freaking hear him breathing the entire time. That isn't me. He's like, ugh.
Administration, women would not be safe.
What would the Hobbs administration's
can we vote for late-term abortions to remove people like her? I wish. Oh my God.
week limit be for
Papa Virtue
abortion access? If it's not 15 weeks, what is it?
Look, abortion is a very personal decision that belongs between a woman and her doctor. The government and politicians don't belong in that decision. We need to let doctors perform the care that they are trained and take an oath.
So we know Katie Hobbs stands on abortion. She has several takes on abortion, and she is clear where she stands on abortion.
To perform.
So if
it seems like her stance is all the way up until birth.
Arizona voter were to conclude from your previous answer that you do not favor any specific week limit on abortion, would they be correct?
I support leaving the decision between a woman and her doctor and leaving politicians entirely out of it.
Okay, then why make a law, huh? Then why make a law? Because apparently you are a part of it just as much as you pretend like you're not a part of it. What is it? How do these people get away with these statements? I don't want a politician to force you. No, that's exactly what you're doing. I don't want a politician to stand in the way, but make sure to get your 20th booster right now.
Polling also indicates that the economy is very important to Arizona voters.
Forced birth, maybe forced IUDs, the girls having sex.
And on that issue, both the economy...
What's her stance on state and local taxes? Great question. What about government authority over small business? I would love all these questions to be answered. The corporate media right now is constantly pushing the issue to only be about abortion right now. They are, seriously, that is all they're talking about right now because they know it's a winning issue for the moderate voter or the person that is like a low information voter who's not really thinking this through or that's like undecided and is the average voter that is like looking at the gases and are like, oh my God, these gases are so expensive right now. This gas price is so expensive right now. I don't want to vote for Democrats right now. And that's why they're constantly trying to shift everyone's attention to abortion other than that. But that's it. Derek Clapp. Thank you. She's riding the mod train. You know what would be neat if you actually talked about anything other than the right to be able to terminate. I know.
I mean, generally.
That's all they have, though.
Inflation specifically.
Okay, now they're going to talk about inflation, and watch. I'm sure she'll have no answers to these questions. She'll probably talk about Putin. She'll probably talk about Biden's historic amount of money that he put in green energy due to the Inflation Reduction Act, all that BS. That's what she's going to focus on. She's not actually going to address how to create deflation, how the average human being is going to be able to live and afford a lifestyle that is the American dream.
To Arizona voters. And on that issue, both the economy generally, inflation specifically, according to our data, you trail your opponent. What is your approach to inflation and the economy in Arizona, and why is yours superior to that of your opponent?
Well, first let me say I'm the only candidate in this race who is not a millionaire. My husband and I raised our kids through financial ups and downs, and I know the struggle that a lot of Arizonans are feeling right now, having to stretch to put food on the table, thinking about taking a second job, or not being able to pay the mortgage. And so we have a comprehensive plan to address the rising costs that Arizonans are facing right now that will put money back in their pockets. We cut taxes on all kinds of everyday items like over-the-counter medication, school supplies, diapers, feminine hygiene products. We provide a state-level child tax credit and tax credits for people who want to go back to work in higher-paying jobs to get career and technical education. Economists have looked at my affordability plan next to Kari Lake's plan, and they said that my plan does put people back to work and help them fight inflation, and that Kari Lake's plan actually will make inflation worse.
Do you identify yourself with the Biden?
Kerry's plan will make inflation worse. What a stupid statement. Inflation, talking points, nothing. Trump's fault, Putin's fault, COVID's fault. There's nothing. I know exactly. I love the idea she's talking about giving out like tax credits and stuff like that, aka more spending, as if that doesn't like increase inflation. Lady, you're running the government for governor. You have an ass load of money. You have nothing, know nothing about a common man's plight. I know. I love all these rich politicians like try to pretend like they know exactly what it's like to struggle to pay rent, struggle to pay their cell phone bills or internet bills, or they never go out to eat. They constantly have to buy the cheapest meat. Like, these people have no idea.
Economic plans and inflation fighting plans? And if so, would you invite the president to campaign along your side in Arizona?
Always a great question.
I'm focused on the race here in Arizona and the needs of Arizonans. It's a race between myself and Kari Lake and the ideas that we're bringing to the table.
And one.
So no, I don't want Biden to be anywhere near me. Get away from me, God. Segments agree with her, I know.
One more time before we let you go, because I think it is on the mind of Arizona voters. Are you saying this morning that there is no circumstance that you can envision or would even try to negotiate in which you and Kari Lake would appear at a debate together before the election?
At this point in the race, with 30 days to go, our schedule in terms of forums is pretty much set. And I'm really happy with where we are in the plans we have to continue talking directly to the voters of Arizona.
Katie Hobbs.
Weak sauce. Yeah. She's pulling a Biden. Hey, Find It, Fix It, what's up? Trump rally over? It's never over.
He's a tireless champion for free.
I'm convinced she's not a human being. She's either a cyborg or AI production or lizard woman, probably.
First. So I would like to have Blake Masters come up just for a minute and say hello. He's already spoken, but say hello.
Blake Masters. Do you guys think Kari Lake's going to win? I mean, I think she's going to win, but I just don't know what I trust with these elections these days. No, she's nice. You think Kari Lake's too nice to win? I think she's a bit of a savage.
We had a secure border. Crime was under control.
Yeah.
You could actually afford to live. Prices were pretty low. Gas was $2. It was good. Let me tell you what, that doesn't happen by accident. That happened because of President Trump
Cheap shopping
and his America First policies.
Elk tag, $22. Yeah, but you got to take it down. That's the hardest part. Elk hunting is so hard. It's so much harder than the YouTubers make it out to seem. Well, at least if you're like me, shooting with a bow. Will Kari Lake win? How fortified election is going to be? I don't know. Incredible stance that what's-her-face was just taking, not actually doing a debate. What a puss. If you're going to be a politician and you think you don't need to debate, or just say what you believe in, that's ridiculous. And I think it's even more insane that people on the left won't have debates and stuff like that. The press is on your side. The press will do everything in their power to make you look good. So take it. You take it with open arms. If I was a Democrat and I was running for any position, I would debate all the time because I would know the press would have my back. It's so dumb. Kari Lake has balls. She has big balls. 308, leave no doubt. Yeah, I know. I'm getting to that age now where it's about a 308 or nothing.
Thank you, Blake. That was great. You're going to win, Blake. You're going to win.
You're going to win, Blake.
We talk about conservative. It's really common sense. What we need is common sense more than anything else. Blake, you're going to do great. This election day, you also have the chance to elect an America First all-star, a friend of mine. She's unbelievable as your governor.
Kari.
Her name is Kari Lake.
And I'm going to bring
Arizona.
Not the press, social media, not just the press, social media would ensure nothing but good news reaches their eyes. Exactly. And they would cut up clips to make her look good.
Oh, you're so lucky. I see some of the people running in other places. I say, boy, is Arizona lucky. You're so lucky.
Yeah, like Dr. Oz, remember?
Ask for a governor with more energy, passion, toughness, brilliance, and determination to secure your border.
The left knows in a debate with any common sense person would lose. It's not even that, man. It's like you can be, as long as you talk in circles, in a debate, you can be seen as more intelligent if you have your talking points and all you have to do is know what your opponent's going to say before they say it, and then you say it before they say it, and then they have nothing to say. That's all you have to do. It's so easy. It's like it's like an 8 Mile. Have you ever seen the movie 8 Mile? Like when Eminem, he goes out at the end and he raps about everything they're going to say before they say it. And so when the time comes that they're going to say something, they have nothing to say. The left knows in a debate. But yeah. Have you guys ever been in a debate or a debate club or anything like that? It's pretty fun. I like debating on things I don't believe in.
She's a disaster.
I don't know if that says anything about me.
Who denies there's even a small problem at the border. She was on the other day. I don't think we have a problem at the border. In other words, you have no choice. You have to get her out. She tried to defund the border strike force. She hates people like Brandon. She hates people like you, Brandon. I can't. That means I don't like her right there. She doesn't like Border Patrol. She doesn't like...
So funny. Wait, are you from the class of 83 for real? Because if so, that's awesome. I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry you had to endure this. All right, we've been live streaming for 2 hours. I appreciate every single one of you for joining me. It means so much to me that you do so. I've enjoyed this. I tried to join the debate club, but they said I was too argumentative. Shut up. They told me I debated too well. Remember to call this number after the show and leave me a message at my voicemail. Call this number after my show. Unless you're Jay Wink on Rumble, you douche. But everyone else, call this number and leave me a message after the show, and I'll add it to my next show. We'll do like a voicemail. Hopefully, I get some good ones and some death threats, because those are the best ones. Nice Sunday show. Hey, thank you, Quaid. It's always good. It's good to hear some positive with the negative. You know what I mean? I hope it was fun. I hope this gets better and stuff like that. I hope I get better, and I hope we find our niche and find what's fun to do and talk about, because there's so much insanity going on. I don't want to get you guys more involved and stuff like that. This was a fun show, dude. Hey, I appreciate that. That means a lot. You know? 2 hours of partying. Shall not be infringed. I'll be back. Hey, thank you. I'll be back. I appreciate that. We usually have a bunch of clips and we try to watch them all. This Sunday there wasn't too many clips. Those were the only clips that looked interesting to me, and it's the only news that looked interesting. There wasn't a lot of news. Be sure to check out my show that I did earlier today about PayPal flip-flopping on their misinformation policy, which was totally bull crap, but they were just called out on it. That's all, at the end of the day, that's what happens with these companies. But we need to call these companies out for their BS anyways, because they think they can get away with it. Steven Seagal, nuclear war. How can you not have a good time with that combo? Exactly. Yeah, we talked about, we watched videos of Steven Seagal running. Now it's time for another rum and some smoke. Cheers. Hey, that sounds good. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. After tomorrow, I'm going on vacation. Don't forget that. So be sure to check out my show tomorrow. Hang out with, tell your friends and family about the Derek O'Shea Show. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Junior Coltar, thank you. That's hilarious. You don't have a TJ. You do have a TJ Miller thing happening. I know. My whole life, people have called me TJ Miller. Especially when I get on stage and I get a microphone in my hand, I get a little crazy. And he is that kind of crazy. Where is Richie? Let's never forget this.
Hell no, to the no, hell to the no.
Hope you guys enjoy your night, enjoy your Sunday night. The Bengals are getting beat right now. Total losers. Brendan, have a good night. Hey, you guys all have a good night. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for getting in the chat and being cool. Drop a like on the video and all that stuff. Have a good night. I bet you are way funnier than TJ. Maybe. It's maybe. I don't know. TJ's pretty funny. But he's definitely an acquired taste. Either you hate him or love him. That's the kind of thing about TJ Miller. But I hope you guys have a good night. Have a good date night. But enjoy your life. See you tomorrow. Love you guys. You guys are the best. Have a good night. Bye.